put your motherfucking hands on me, you dead! Dead! You fake ass gangsters! I'm blowing this shit up! You motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. He assaulted me. Yup, and they put me in a hospital on an APAP. When I was assaulted at that barbershop over there they call Legends, over at Allure, he threatened to kill me, so I need to file a police report.
That Courtney Burgess was planted with this information on purpose to basically get the feds to turn their eye off of other people that are allegedly going to go down with Diddy. And the person that she called out was Jay-Z and the Carters. And then Courtney Burgess started acting really strange and multiple different times threw up these triangles while she was saying stuff like this.
You're all my witnesses. I'm lucid. I'm sane.
1-0 to Jaguar Wright. You guys just survived a real assassination attempt. It was an organized attack, not simply harassment or intimidation. And the timing couldn't be more suspicious only days prior to this incident. Jaguar was naming the accomplishments of Diddy and his Rico empire include Jay-Z Davis, Desiree Perez, Clive Burgess, Courtney Alex Spiro, and other particular individuals for years. Jag claims he helped conceal severe crimes.
I sent you a very real message, man. I said they're trying to unalive me again. Can you help? You never responded. You went just as ghost as Jussie Smollett did a week ago. But I'm starting to research you, Miss Kid. And so help me God, if I find you've had any legal dealings with Alex Spiro, you and I are going to have
3 Jaguar has been exposing industry corruption for a while, as you are all likely aware. But this is different now that she began relating Diddy's case to her car was tampered with, her hotel was broken into, and even her husband was bribed to set her up. Real networks of enablers began to appear where they weren't meant to.
Okay. Hold on.
Things become more complicated because, in Jaguar's opinion, this isn't even about Diddy anymore. Instead, she's listing influential figures and bigger fish that have close ties to more than just Diddy before we discuss who those names are. You need to know something. Jaguar didn't abandon these assertions. She went live in silence, looked directly into the camera and stated, who did it if anything happens to me? The question now is, did someone simply attempt to make that happen? Was this merely a scare tactic? Or did Jaguar disrupt something far more sinister? More importantly, who are these individuals still covering for Diddy today?
So I can have my lawyer serve the paperwork for my Why am I waiting? I was in the hospital for 9 days. They put me in on an APAL. I have bruises. My thumb and my pinky was done from where they stood on my back with a handcuff.
Let's talk about what really happened. Jaguar Wright recently escaped a planned assassination attempt, and she claims that it is all related to those who have long shielded Diddy's criminal empire.
Oh my dear son. Oh my dear son. Oh my son. Oh my son.
God,
they're all dead.
No,
they're all dead.
9 According to Jaguar, she saw a black SUV circle her Dallas hotel multiple times a day. Hours later, while she was returning to her hotel, she saw someone crouched close to her vehicle and tampering with the tires.
Dark back there. I had my key out, and I had my knuckles in my back pocket, my brass knuckles. And sure enough, he came out the dark as I was about to put my key in the door and go upstairs.
6 Jaguar claims that this man attempted to modify her car to make it appear as if it had been an accident, but she saw him in the act and challenged him, which led to a physical struggle.
The boogeyman, I ran up on that, just started punching the out of him, whooped his, took his knife. I was like, you see this? Get him on knife. I was losing it. I swear to God, if I see you out of these streets,
Fortunately, Jaguar is now capable of self-defense, but she was still shaken by the experience since she realized they weren't merely attempting to frighten her, they were attempting to murder.
I'm prepared for what I'm prepared for. You know what I mean? I've had everything bad that pretty much a human being can go through.
On following this incident, Jaguar went live with Tokyo Tony, where she displayed several weapons that she always carries. The woman is moving around as though she is in a combat zone, and it's true that it tracks.
Go spend some time with my godson before they try to kill me again. Oh my God, stop saying it. Don't put that in the universe. trying to kill me.
Moreover, when Tokyo requested Jag to identify the individuals who have been attempting to murder her, Jag didn't hold back when she stated that there are two, Carter Sean and Cone.
I had to do it in Chicago. Okay, but who's name? You know who the f talking about. I'm talking about the Seans. I'm talking about Sean Carter. And Sean Cone.
After discussing how someone attempted to blow up her car, Jaguar even mentioned Beyonce, implying that she was also complicit in the attempted attack.
Somebody tried to blow up my car. I hope Beyonce falls and breaks her neck.
Now, as you are all aware, Jaguar has been criticizing Diddy and Jay-Z for years. This is not news. She has accused him of everything from robbing artists to eradicating numerous individuals.
Andre Harrell, Father MC Baby Mom, Big L, Biggie Smalls, Christopher Wallace, Pimp C, Aaliyah. Sweetheart, there are so many.
And as we all know, when Jaguar warning people about Diddy, the industry promptly dismissed her as insane.
First time you heard me say that Sean Combs was a sex trafficker, and you said I was a liar because I was jealous, because I wasn't his girlfriend, because I wasn't successful in the music industry, because I didn't have a hit record, because I didn't live in a mansion, because I didn't have diamonds. You said all of these things about me because I told the truth. You disgraced my name, my legacy, my family. You stalked, you hunted me. You harassed my friends.
This time is different since she has been going deeper and attaining receipts for a full infrastructure rather than just the machine's faces. Jaguar revealed wealthy businessmen who established the freak-off pipeline prior to the attempted hit, exposing the entire system of men and women who had protected Diddy and Jay-Z's empires for decades. Was a front for something considerably more sinister, according to Jaguar. Diddy's parties were attended by other guys who were bidding for the victims, not simply for his own evil amusement.
They auditioned to be models for music videos.
Oh, casting couch.
When they got to Miami, they had to show and turn over their ID, and they collected their passports. And then the next thing you know, they were in a storage container getting by a bunch of weird strangers on camera who were bidding for all of the terrible things that were happening to them live online.
Jaguar also targeted intermediaries, such as industry fixers with connections to the federal government, prominent attorneys who cleared scenes and drafted non-disclosure agreements, and fictitious witnesses who gave victims advice on how to respond. Before that attempt had impacted billionaire Ron Burkle, no one else was ready to touch or point out the people working behind the scenes. And 3 names kept appearing in Jaguar's recordings. Out of all the people she had exposed, Perez, a criminally convicted Roc Nation CEO, and Courtney Burgess, an industry fixer who Jaguar believes was set up by Roc Nation to divert attention, are investors with connections to private equity politics and the Epstein list. From Jay's connections to Diddy's case, nobody is naming these individuals except for Jaguar. Let's dissect them individually, beginning with the millionaire whose name appeared in both Epstein's and Diddy's black books. Ron Burkle is the godfather of all of Diddy's children, according to an investigative article by Unlimited Hangout titled One Label Under Blackmail, which details the early encounters between Diddy and the Epstein network. Additionally, he frequently traveled on Jeffrey Epstein's notorious private plane. Nowadays, most people are aware of Diddy's relationship with Clive Davis and how Clive assisted Diddy in creating Bad Boy Entertainment, but virtually no one mentions Ron Burkle, and Jaguar claims that's intentional. You see, Burkle wasn't just any investor. He was one of Diddy's most devoted and long-standing financial benefactors. In 2003, Burkle contributed $100 million to Diddy's Sean John clothing line. The media was actually calling Burkle Diddy's sugar daddy at that point. But the real question is why Ron Burkle would invest $100 million in Diddy's clothes firm, which at the time wasn't even making a profit. Jaguar asserts that this is because Burkle was funding Diddy's blackmail scheme, rather than purchasing clothing, and that Diddy was engaging in the same activities, as Epstein obtained leverage and provided victims to his clients, for those far more powerful than himself
They ended up on Epstein Island. They auditioned to be models for music videos.
Oh, casting couch.
When they got to Miami, they had to show and turn over their ID, and they collected their passports. And then the next thing you know, they were in a storage container getting by a bunch of weird strangers on camera who were bidding for all of the terrible things that were happening to them live online. After they made it through that, that's when they were sent to Rick Ross's music.
over the years. Ron Burkle's name has been associated with a great deal of scandal. For example, in 2020, his son Andrew Burkle was discovered dead in his family in the Beverly Hills home. We'll not disclose what transpired, and here's the thing, Andrew was close to Diddy's sons. In fact, Quincy Brown paid tribute to Andrew on Instagram, stating that he was destined to join him for lunch the next day. But nobody was discussing any of this until Jaguar brought it up at that point. Ron Burkle's team went on a digital purge, erasing any evidence of his internet connections to Diddy and Epstein, eliminating articles and social media mentions. As for Ron's present location, he maintains a low profile. The public records still indicate that although the co-founder of Equipa co-owns the Pittsburgh Penguins and appears on websites like Yahoo and Accidental, any reference to him in Epstein's Black Book or Diddy's freak-off operations is being removed. Just a few weeks after Jaguar and a few other independent journalists discussed this, someone attempted to blow up Jag's car. But there's always another name that should cause a problem. Desiree Paris Jay-Z is the gatekeeper of the business and his right hand at Roc Nation. Yet despite being said, it is never discussed in the mainstream media. Jay-Z knew Desiree was the government spy when he appointed her president of Roc Nation. And D. Haven, a longtime acquaintance of Jay-Z, claims Jay-Z's desire is the primary cause of never encounters. Any legal issues interviewed.
Jaguar kind of alluded to Jay-Z may be next. What is your thoughts when you hear the world like they done took down Puff, they done took down all these other powerful black people? Jay-Z's like the lone standing powerful black man.
If you do the track wrestling on them, Jay is them people. If you do the history of most of the people that got in trouble in the industry, big trouble, who they went to for help? When Lil Wayne was in trouble, who did he go to? When Meek Mills was in trouble, who he go to? Meek Mills said it himself. Desiree helped me. You understand? So how could he be up next? You know what I'm saying? He is them people. They go to him when they got problems. Like I said, I think he is them. He has a relationship with them. You talking about a woman that had a relationship with the feds for 20-something years, right? When you working for them, you got an agent, your agent that's in charge of you. You think she don't have no relationships with over the years with all these agents that became retired and connected and this and that and the third till they just know shit? She got power. That's power over there. You know what I'm saying? Who you wanting one on your side? You got them on your side?
D. Haven then responded that Jay-Z would never fall after Diddy, since he and the individuals brought Diddy down are all affiliated with the same group.
So I was born in New York as a little baby, 9 months. My grandfather had to take over to raise me because my mother was incarcerated and dealing with the criminal justice system for the crimes that she committed in the early 90s.
How long has the relationship with your mom been strained at this point?
I haven't seen my mom since December 25th, 2023. That's the last time that I saw her physically. The last time I spoke to her was December 30th, 2023, when she said that I was dead to her.
Jaguar went even further than Haven. Instead of merely mentioning Desiree, she located the daughter Desiree left behind and conducted a live.
How do you know Sean Combs?
Generation, Frank Lucas was my godfather and his father, and then we both was in the music business for 30 years together.
So you personally know him,
Not who personally?
Sean Combs.
Not personally.
But you know of him, he knows of you.
Yeah, I used to be in Tupac, Hussein Fatal. He stopped a lot of my music. A lot of other people who didn't care about him. You understand? It's not around today.
And she featured one of the most influential women in hip-hop on her live stream only days before someone attempted to forever silence Jaguar. You don't need a conspiracy board to notice the connection between blasting through her own lineage and someone attempting to kill Jaguar a few days later. So consider whether does Jaguar keep naming the correct people? She also uncovered Courtney Burgess, the industry fixer Courtney, who was paid by Roc Nation to serve as a fictitious witness in Diddy's case, claims to have a copy of Kim Porter's authentic memoir, but Jaguar exposed him for possessing personal connections to Diddy. Courtney acknowledged that he is a godson of Frank Lucas, the Harlem kingpin for whom Diddy's late father, Melvin Combs, worked. Jaguar revealed this in an interview with TMZ, but he insisted he didn't know Diddy personally.
Just slow down. Stop running your mouth so much.
I don't need to do anything but what I'm doing. And now we finally gotten to this point where you're warning me. Who are you warning me for, sir? You got a boss. Tell him I still got the nuts right here. Your warnings, all of your warnings, let it go. Stop talking about people. Go back and tell your boss that I said.
Completely referring to someone else that was.
What you doing? Dad, do what you do.
Oh, I will. To the fullest.
Do what you do.
To the fullest. This changes nothing. Go back and tell your boss.
If Courtney's got a puppeteer and all that.
He got, I'm telling you, there's no way in the world he got the first hand anything. It was passed down, compiled by someone else. And like he's saying, he doesn't ever.
I'm not being funny, and I will just be honest. I did notice that myself. Of all the ways you could have positioned your hands, Courtney, that was the only way that you could have positioned them in a way that would have caused anything. And I'm going to be honest with you. I noticed that too.
And this is where things start to get strange. Courtney consented to join Jaguar on a live feed after she criticized him for lying. But then throughout this interview, Courtney repeatedly flashed Jay-Z's Roc Nation hand symbol watch in an odd way.
Jaguar Wright held nothing back, and she was calling out Courtney Burgess on doing this. She said, "You are nobody," and she even believed that Courtney Burgess was planted with this information on purpose to basically get the feds to turn their eye off of other people that are allegedly going to go down with Diddy. And the person that she called out was Jay-Z and the Carters. And then Courtney Burgess started acting really strange and multiple different times threw up these triangles while she was saying stuff like this. He did it about 5 different times throughout this live, to the point where somebody actually noticed, why does Courtney keep throwing up this triangle? And everyone thought this was super weird that Courtney Burgess kept throwing up this triangle sign at Jaguar Wright after she kept saying that you were planted with this information and it probably came from Jay-Z. We all know that Jay-Z has been known over the years to throw up the same triangle hand symbols. Jaguar Wright believes that Jay-Z is the one behind this because Courtney Burgess said that Jay-Z would never be involved in any of this, and he never saw him on any videotapes, and he would never do anything with Beyonce with another person.
Additionally, as this TikTok fan noted, what was also questionable was how Courtney Burgess was going above and beyond to protect Jay-Z and Beyonce, asserting that the Carters had nothing to do with Diddy's wrongdoings in